the biggest stories in the nation right now involves President Trump's Supreme Court nominee, Brett Kavanaugh, and the sexual assault allegations made against him by Professor Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. Dr. Ford alleges that Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her at a high school party back in 1982. And this past Friday, President Trump made his thoughts known about the allegations, tweeting in part, "I have no doubt that if the attack on Dr. Ford was as bad as she says, charges would have been immediately filed by either her or her loving parents." Well, many people on social media believe the president's tweets to be a form of victim shaming and began sharing their own stories using the hashtag #WhyIDidn'tReport. It didn't take long for the hashtag to trend worldwide, with many brave people opening up about their assaults. Ashley Judd tweeted, quote, "The first time it happened, I was 7. I told the first adult I came upon. They said, 'Oh, he's a nice old man. That's not what he meant.' So when I was raped at 15, I only told my diary. When an adult read it, she accused me of having sex with an adult man." Ladies, why do you think this hashtag has resonated with so many people?
Well, the thing is that this is a serious situation, and when the president tweeted it, people, felt slighted.
Yeah.
You don't have to tweet on everything. I don't care if you're the president, if you're just a regular person. We have to be careful what we tweet, especially in these days and times. And I'm glad to see the hashtag. People go and check out the stories, and you'll understand why some people keep things to themselves, especially when they're young and people don't believe you, and then you're scared. And there's just so many different stories. So check out the hashtag.
So many different feelings.
Everything. So
it's crazy because unless you've been through this, you don't understand that you go through in your mind once it happens to you such psychological warfare with yourself.
Yep.
And they say that there's fight or flight when it comes to a traumatic situation. I disagree. I think there's actually one more. There's freeze. Some people, you don't fight back. You don't know where to go. You just freeze in the moment, and it's happening to you. As a person who was sexually assaulted at a young age by somebody very close to me, I remember the trifecta that I would continuously process, which is fear, anger, shame, fear, anger, shame. Fear, what's gonna happen to our family if I say something and out this person? Anger, why did you just sit there? Why did you let this go on for 4 years?
How old
What's
were
wrong
you
with you
when this happened?
I was 9, and it went on till I was about 12.
And
13,
you didn't tell anybody? What?
I didn't tell anybody because this was somebody I really cared about. And there's a little bit of Stockholm syndrome in there too, because if somebody who's a stranger did it to me, oh, I know what to do. I know how to wild out. I got that down.
Right.
But when it's somebody you trust, somebody you know that you actually are supposed to love or believe in, you just freeze. And so it went on for 4 years, and then 2 years later, I found the strength to say something. But if it took me 2 years or it took me 20 years, it does not invalidate what happened.
That's right. That's right.
There's a lot of truth to what you said, because I just found out from one of my friends that she was date raped. And I was like, girl, well, did you say something?
Right.
And she said, Tamara, a lot of the times, the first thing we do as women is blame ourselves.
Yes.
And they have this guilt that kind of like paralyzes them.
Yes.
And this fear if anyone is going to believe them. So she still hasn't told anyone. I asked her. And she said, you know what, Tamara? I said no. And I was like, wow, you still feel this way.
Yeah.
Even when you told that man to say no.
Yeah.
And she said yes. So I think a lot of the times these, women and men are trying to build up the confidence and courage to say something. And like you said, if that takes 2 years, if that takes 20 years, if that takes 30 years, say something.
Yes.
Right.
You can't live.
It's never too
And
late.
it doesn't invalidate what happened to you.
And it does not. And you can see it weighs on her.